Have you ever wondered how much house can I actually afford? Whether you're renting or you're buying, understanding what you can afford is crucial in today's market of high interest rates, rising rents, and skyrocketing home prices. For the vast majority of people, this decision is the biggest financial commitment they will ever make. So, getting it right is very important. In today's video, we're going to break it all down for you. We'll cover renting versus buying, key affordability rules like the 28-36 rule, the 30-33 rule, and real-world examples for people earning $40,000, $80,000, and $150,000 a year. We'll even discuss how market conditions like rising interest rates and rent hikes are changing what's realistic for most people today. So grab your notebook and let's get started. Let's begin with renting, since that's often the first step people will make before buying. A common rule of thumb is that if your rent shouldn't exceed 30% of your gross income, which is your income that you make before taxes. Why 30%? It's a guideline that dates back to the 1960s, designed to ensure that you have enough left over for other living expenses, like food. But let's see what this looks like in practice. Let's say that you are earning $40,000 a year, so it'd be about $3,333 a month in gross income. According to the 30% rule, your maximum rent should be $1,000 a month. So if you're earning $80,000, you could spend $2,000 a month. And at $150,000 a year, you could afford $3,750 a month. Now that sounds pretty straightforward, but let's get real for a moment. The average rent in the US is currently around $1,739 a month. That means someone making $40,000 a year would already be stretching their budget to afford the average rental. And the average square foot is 900 square feet. So it's not like the average $1,700 apartment is giant, some penthouse. It's not even big enough to comfortably house more than a couple of people. And this is especially true in high-cost cities like New York or San Francisco, where rents can easily eat up 50% or more of your income. To handle this, some people follow the 50-30-20 rule. This budgeting approach allocates 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or debt repayment. Well, let's break this down with an example. If you earn $4,000 a month after taxes, you would allocate $2,000 to needs like rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Then $1,200 would go towards wants like dining out, entertainment, hobbies, and finally you'd have $800 left that would be set aside for savings or paying down debt. If your rent is $1,500 a month, you'd still have $500 left over for necessities, ensuring that you're not overspending on housing while saving for future goals. However, if rent pushes you over 50% for needs, it's time to adjust the wants category or prioritize savings by looking for less expensive housing options. This framework is a practical way to balance your lifestyle with financial security, even if you're in an expensive rental market. If you want to save aggressively or plan for a home purchase, a more modern approach is called backward budgeting. With backward budgeting, you start with your non-negotiable expenses and savings goals first. Then you allocate the remainder for rent. This ensures that your priorities come first. Let's transition to buying a home. This is a whole new ballgame with its own set of rules. Two popular guidelines are the 28-36 rule and the 30-33 rule. The 28-36 rule is what lenders use to determine how much mortgage you qualify for. First, your monthly mortgage payment, including taxes and insurance, shouldn't exceed 28% of your gross income. For example, if you earn $40,000 a year, and your maximum mortgage payment is $933 a month. At $80,000 a year, it's $1,866. At $150,000 a year, it's $3,500. Second, your total monthly debt payments, like your mortgage, your credit cards, your car loans, and your student loans, should stay under 36% of your gross income. This rule ensures lenders feel confident you won't default. But there's a catch. Just because you're approved for a loan doesn't mean you can afford it comfortably. Banks care about getting paid back, not whether you'll have money left over to save for retirement or for emergencies. The 30-33 rule, on the other hand, focuses on your financial security. It says that you should never spend more than 30% of your gross income on total housing payments, save at least 30% of the home's value in cash, and 20% for a down payment, and 10% for repairs and emergencies. And only buy a home that costs no more than 3 times your annual income. Let's break it down. If you earn $40,000 a year, the 30-33 rule means that maximum housing payment is $1,000 a month. You'll need $36,000 in savings for a $120,000 home, which includes $24,000 for a 20% down payment and $12,000 for repairs and emergencies. And the home price should cap at $120,000. At $80,000 a year, your maximum housing payment is $2,000 a month. You'll need $72,000 in savings for a $240,000 home, which includes $48,000 for the down payment and $24,000 for repairs and emergencies. The home price should cap at $240,000. At $150,000 a year, your maximum housing payment is $3,750 a month. You'll need $180,000 in savings for a home, for a $450,000 home, which includes $90,000 for down payment and $45,000 for repairs and emergencies. And the house price should cap at $450,000. Now, this rule helps protect you from becoming house poor, where you can afford the house but nothing else. But let's be honest, this is tough to follow in high-cost areas. For example, the median home price in San Francisco is $1.5 million. Following the 30-33 rule, you need to earn over $450,000 a year just to afford the median home. And that's before taxes. This is why many people are moving to more affordable areas. Cities like Boise, Charlotte, and Nashville are becoming popular alternatives. These cities are growing job markets with lower housing costs and overall better affordability. For example, the average home price in Charlotte is around $400,000. Using the 30-33 rule, someone earning $133,000 could comfortably afford this. Nashville offers similar value with average home price around $450,000. Moving to these areas can provide a better quality of life without sacrificing financial security. Additionally, these cities are experiencing infrastructure growth, better transportation options, and an increase in culture and recreational opportunities. This makes them a lot more attractive for home buyers. Ultimately, where you choose to live impacts your budget significantly. Researching affordable markets and being open to relocate can open up options that were previously out of reach. To wrap up, deciding how much house you can afford depends on your income, your savings, and your life goals. You can use tools like the New York Times Rent versus Buy calculator to crunch the numbers and see what makes sense for you. Stick to the guidelines like the 28-36 rule or the 30-33 rule, but adjust them to fit your reality. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment below on whether or not you're looking to buy a house. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.